What's up, EV Clan? Alex Espion here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Pokemon Red Randomizer Nuzlocke, where, in case you missed the last episode, I probably wouldn't be able to summarize it for you very well, because I haven't recorded in a hot minute, I'll be honest. I've had some personal stuff going on recently, and I just haven't had the time, so I apologize for that, but I will try to churn out some extra videos in the coming days, just to sort of make up for it a little bit. But yeah, from what I remember, we were starting to make our way up Pokemon Tower. Apparently, our Pokemon is poisoned right now, Gerald, which is not very good because obviously in future games it might not be that big of a problem. It's just like, oh, yeah, because we won't be taking a lot of turns in battles because obviously in future games, poison just damages you like every turn in the battle, but in these games it damages you outside of battle too, so it's much more dangerous. Luckily we were able to get back to this healing spot before the poison did too much damage, so Gerald is all good, back to full health, no more poison, which is great. So here's a Pikachu. I think it's odd in this game how like Pikachu's sprite has it with like a different shade of like color for its tummy, because obviously like everything is black and white, but that tummy is like more of a gray. It's like black, white, gray. Like people say black and white, but they don't actually mean black and white, because it's like black and white things aren't just black and white, they're also gray, but gray is also just kind of like a shade of black. It's like, it's kind of confusing when you think about it, because I don't think anybody like ever addresses it. It's not like a thing that's usually said, but like gray is just like light black, isn't it? So yeah, here's another possessed woman, as we saw in the last gentlewoman, even as we saw in the if you watched the last episode, then you know that these women who are possessed by ghosts tend to make odd noises. If you did not see the last episode, then I highly recommend you go back and watch it, because I don't remember a lot that happened. However, I do remember I made a bunch of really funny, weird noises in voice acting these trainers, so that's cool. Like, some episodes aren't like that was one of those episodes where it wasn't like a whole lot of actually interesting gameplay happening, but my commentary was good. Key! And, this woman, I don't think we fought her either. Yes, we did, actually. Oh yeah, we went down here, we got the Pokeball down here, and then we went back up. Are we out of repels? Because I know we used repels in the last episode, but I don't know if we're out now. If we're not, then I'd like to use one just to... Yeah, okay, let's use one of those. Just to, like, clear out the inventory, because as we've seen in previous episodes, saw in previous episodes, the inventory space in this game, there's not a lot. There's only 20 spaces. Ugh, quah! Which may seem like a lot given the amount of items that are in this game. Like, obviously, in future games that's not a lot, because there's like tons and tons of items. But like, when you think of Gen 1 items, you probably don't think that there's a whole lot. But then just think about the fact that like, how many key items there are that like, just are stuck in your inventory forever, for the rest of eternity after you get them. And you realize that 20, despite the fact that there aren't a lot of items in Gen 1 period, 20 item slots is still not enough. Like, still not a whole lot. It still is getting quite troublesome trying to keep up with this whole like getting new items, like making space for new items. It is sort of troublesome to keep up with it, especially because this is a Nuzlocke. Sorry, not just like a Nuzlocke. If it was just a Nuzlocke, it wouldn't be a problem. Especially because this is a randomized Nuzlocke. Because obviously in a randomizer, you're not going to be getting like the same types of items for every Pokeball. It's not like, oh, this Pokeball gives me a Great Ball, and this Pokeball gives me a Super Potion. It's like, most Pokeballs will probably give me like just that. It's like, no, anytime you pick up a field item, it could be anything. So that makes it much more difficult having so little inventory space, because that means that, that means that like, these items that you are getting like all different types of you're going to get tons and tons of different types of items, so your bag is going to fill up quicker, because you're not getting like the same items, and they're not just like stacking in the bag. I use a lot of Minecraft terminology when I'm describing these things. I obviously, instead of bag, I typically say inventory, and then I just described it as stacking. But like, I guess that is just because like, I was I went through like a massive Minecraft phase of my life. Like, honestly, that is the entire reason I ever got into YouTube in the first place, is like just to watch Minecraft videos. So like, even if I am not the biggest fan of Minecraft personally, like, when I was a kid, I absolutely loved Minecraft. And then I played it for myself, and I was like, this isn't that good. I don't really like this. It's the kind of thing where it's like, I find it really fun to watch, however, I don't find it really fun to play. Rolling Kick. Is Rolling Kick not very effective? Is fighting not very effective on Psychic? It is. Okay, it did flinch, though. That's good. Because this is kind of worrying that we're fighting a grass type with a ground type, but I don't... with a ground rock type, which is 4 times weak to grass, obviously. But at the same time, this Exeggutor has yet to use a grass type move, so I think we're fine. I feel like, just off the top of my head, I can't think of a lot of Exeggutor grass type moves that Exeggutor learns. It seems like it's more on the Psychic side. Something fell out. Fell out? Of what? I'm a little bit concerned by that dialogue, but alright. I wonder what's in this Pokeball. We can't see until we dump something out of the bag, because the bag in this game does not have a whole lot of space. Ice Heal. When are we gonna need to use an Ice Heal? I'm getting frozen in the next battle, watch. It's instant I throw this out, it's gonna be like, okay, now you're frozen. Sucks to suck, should've kept the Ice Heal. Hyper Potion. That's cool. Another inventory space being taken up by another item that we probably won't get another thing of. We probably won't get another one, and then it's probably going to be another item that we just have one of, taking up another slot, but whatever. Be gone, intruders. Too much? Too much? Probably too much. Self-scope unveiled the ghost's identity. I wonder what it is. Usually it would be a Marowak, because it's like the ghost of the Cubone's mother, because Team Rocket was like bugging a Cubone or something, and the mom was like, I don't like this, and so it was a vengeful spirit, like Cassidy from FNAF. But this is just a Dodrio. And I was about to say, is this a status encounter? Is this a static encounter? Can we catch this? But then I realized, like, we literally cannot. And my brother told me, and I don't know if I discussed this in a previous episode, but this thing is doing a lot of damage. Hold on, could you please stop? Could you please, like, stop though? Stop though? Stop. Okay. That literally could have killed us. I don't know what I'm doing, keeping Gerald out against something that is, like, this high leveled. I don't know, I guess I was just like, oh, 9 levels above, it's probably fine. But, like, realistically, that is a Dodrio, which is a fully evolved Pokemon, that probably has stab. So that was a bad idea. This would keep Gerald in. If that thing got 5 hits with that, we would have died. If it got 4 hits, maybe we would have died. If it got 4 hits, and any of those hits was a crit, then we would have died. So we are just quite lucky in that scenario that... I'm not lucky in most scenarios, but in that scenario, I'm quite lucky that nothing undesirable went down. It landed 3 hits, which was just enough for it to not kill us. None of them were crit. Perfect. Wonderful. And now we can take this thing down. But, my brother told me, a bit ago, about how this Marowak cannot be caught. Except it doesn't tell you that it cannot be caught. So theoretically, someone could just sit here for like an hour, throwing Pokeballs at the Marowak, not knowing that you can't catch it. The ghost was the restless soul of Cubone's mother. Yeah, the mother's soul was calmed. It departed to the afterlife. Which is very nice. Now we're gonna fight Team Rocket up here, because they're, antagonizing an old man. What do you want? Why are you here? I'm currently here because I need the Poke-Flute to get past Snorlax, and the old man that you're antagonizing happens to have the Poke-Flute. Mind you, I'm not here to save the old man, I'm here to get the Poke-Flute. Saving the old man just happens to be part of the whole getting the Poke-Flute thing. Frankly, the old man is not my concern. My concern is continuing my Pokemon adventure. Sorry, Mr. Old Man, I'm not really... You're not my major concern here. But, you just happen to have something that is useful to me, so I suppose I will help you out. Because that is the kind of video game protagonist I am. Helping people, not out of kindness, but out of, I need the item that you have to progress in the game. Okay, Farfetch'd. Imagine if our rock type had a rock type move. I'm sorry. Kyle can't help it. Yeah, Kyle just became a rock type not too long ago. Only a few levels ago. So it's not fair to be like, oh yeah, this rock type doesn't have a rock type move. But I'm just so used to my water types, who have always been water types, not having water type moves, that it gets on my nerves. It's become a thing in my brain to just like, it's become a joke. It's become like a joke to just keep reusing in my brain. It's just like something that my brain continues to pull up, like reuse, because it's just so used to saying it. It's like, it's really not the fault of the Pokemon this time. Other times it was like, oh, why does this water type have a water type move? That's stupid. But in this case, the rock type not having a rock type move is perfectly fine. I'm just making a big deal out of it because I'm used to making a big deal out of it. But this is not a situation where I should be making a big deal out of it, because that rock type not too long ago was something else. I don't remember what Pokemon it was before it evolved into a Golem, but it definitely was not a rock type, so it makes sense that it wouldn't have a rock type move. I give up. As you should, because I'm better. I'm not going to forget this. Huh. Okay, so he just like... That's interesting that he just like runs away. I mean, it's interesting. I feel like... Where is he going, I wonder? He's like, I'm not gonna forget this. I'm gonna go tell my mommy. It's like... This old guy came and complained about us harming useless Pokemon. We're talking it over as adults. And I, as an 11-year-old boy, decided to intrude. Because, I don't know, I guess 11-year-old boys don't know when to butt out in this universe. It's crazy. Like, I think over the course of Pokemon games, you get to see just, like, I think it's crazy just, like, how much stuff gets done by children. Like, how much responsibility in the Pokemon world like, literal children are given. And it's like, it's not even, like, teenagers, because giving teenagers responsibility is a bad idea. Giving 11-year-olds responsibility is, like, that's even worse. Yeah, like, just, how come in the Pokemon world, how come, like, the police can't do anything about, like, this kid that we're playing as has balls, okay? This kid has moxie, because the police can't do crap about Team Rocket. And then all of a sudden, this 11-year-old boy comes in and says, I'm gonna take down the entire crime organization. It's nutty, just how much this world is affected by literal children. Also, Earthquake, that's fun. Delete another move to make room for Earthquake. I'm not gonna be spamming A because I always forget something that I regret forgetting later on. Sunspore and Sleep Powder. I'm trying to remember what Pokemon this was before it became a Golem. It has Sunspore and Sleep... Oh, it was a Gloom. It was a Gloom. That's why it has Acid, Sunspore, and Sleep Powder. I was gonna say, is it like a bug type? Is it like a Butterfree? I know that Butterfree gets like those Spore and Powder moves. No, it was a Gloom. So Acid is physical. Rolling Kick is also physical. Obviously, Earthquake is like the better physical move because it's Stab. But like, I kind of don't want to get rid of like our coverage just for the Stab. Like, obviously, I need to learn this Stab. This is super powerful Stab. Earthquake is arguably like the best move in this game. But like, I don't want to get rid of coverage just so I can get some Stab, even if it is really good Stab. So I think that like Sleep Powder is just better than Stun Spore. And I guess it just depends on the situation, but like in general, I feel like, yeah, Sleep Powder is the better thing to have. Stun Spore like can slow down the opponent, which might be helpful because I don't know how fast Golem is. But Golem also looks pretty fast, like I imagine it can roll pretty fast. I'm getting rid of Stun Spore. I think that being able to put Pokemon to sleep is more useful than being able to paralyze them. Because once you put them to sleep, you know they're gonna miss turns. Once you paralysis, they may not miss any. And yeah, like paralysis does always lower speed, but it's like that is good in. I feel like just yes, lowering speed is good, but I'd rather them just not be able to move at all. Personally, why are 2 of our Pokemon poisoned? How did this happen? I'm just sitting here talking, and then all of a sudden I realize 2 of our Pokemon are poisoned. What happened here? What were we just fighting even? I'm trying to think. What possibly could have poisoned our Pokemon? Because I don't recall watching Pokemon get poisoned. We fought a Muck, didn't we? That might have been it. That was probably it. Is that how much... Did I go for the low kick? I went for the low kick, and that's how much damage it did. Super effective low kick does that much damage. Wow. Haunter's physical is just garbage. Like, I shouldn't be complaining, because Haunter's special is great. Frankly, if we still had an actual special move on this Haunter, this thing would be putting in the finest of work, as it had been, before I accidentally got rid of Bubble Beam, because I'm an idiot, and I mash A when we're learning moves, because I'm used to later games where they're just like, where they ask you like 17,000 times if you really want to get rid of the move. In this game, they don't. They go easy on you. And frankly, it makes me really appreciate in future games when they don't, when they treat you like an actual child, and they're like, are you sure you want to get rid of it? Are you sure you're sure? Because really, it is something I need. It may make me angry sometimes that it's like taking this long to get rid of a move, but like, it is something I need. Because I will just be spamming sometimes, and then delete a move by accident that I probably shouldn't have. Please, no more! Is he gonna run away too? Run away to some inexplicable location? He's speaking after the battle without me having to talk to him again, so I'm guessing he will. Pokemon are only good for making money! Stay out of our business! Pokemon? Is there like a market for it? Like, do people, like, does Team Rocket sell Pokemon? Like, is that what they mean by making money? Or do they mean they're good, they use the Pokemon to steal things? I wonder, do they use them in, like, bank robberies or something? You're not saving anyone, kid. You wouldn't think so, because I'm 11 years old, but here I am taking down the entire crime organization, because there's not competent adults in this universe, apparently. It's just 11-year-olds going out to fight crime. It's like if if after Batman's parents got killed on the streets, he just automatically put on a Batman mask. It's like, no time passed, he just suddenly was like, yep, I'm an orphan now, time to go fight crime. Yeah, we're gonna send it in Alice, because Alice is level 37, and I didn't want to send it to level 40, that's the real reason. But I'm just gonna pretend. And the other levels 37s on the team were poisoned, so I saw level 37, and I saw not poisoned, and so I sent out this. But I'm just gonna pretend that the reason why I sent out Alice is because we're fighting a poison type. And poison is not very effective against poison, and Alice is a poison type. I'm just gonna pretend that there was some strategy involved, even though, guys, there totally wasn't. I literally just saw the level, and not poisoned, and I sent them out. Don't tell anybody. I'm really skilled with the game, if anyone asks. I'm really skilled with the game, and that was completely done completely purposefully. I don't know if this whisper thing is working, because I'm, like, covering up one side of my mouth, like I'm whispering into a mic, but the mic is on the other side, so it's just, like, I'm only covering up one side. It's like when people, like, whisper, like they cover up both sides of their mouth, but I can't do that because the mic is on one side, so I don't know if this is actually like coming through as whispering, but if it is, that's cool. If it isn't, well, I just sound really stupid right now, don't I? Anyway, hit the mic. Let's see, low kick or nightshade. Super effective move versus always the same amount of damage. Super effective physical move, probably gonna do nothing, versus always does the same amount of damage. I'm gonna go for the nightshade. Because, yeah, it does always do the same amount of damage, so it's not gonna matter that it's super effective. It's not gonna be super effective, but like at the same time, that super effective move, like I just said, is a physical move, which is bad because Haunter's physical attack is just terrible, as you saw from the last Pokemon, I'm sure. So anyway, next Nightshade takes this thing down, and that I believe is the final Team Rocket member, blocking us from Mr. Fuji over here, I think is his name. Which kind of sounds like Fiji, which is like a brand of water. In case y'all didn't know. I don't know why I feel the need to state the obvious sometimes, but I guess it's just like, why not, man? Like, I'm sure that you, with all the, okay, I'm posting this for the whole world to see. I'm sure someone found that informative. I'm sure someone in the world just learned that Fiji is a brand of water. I'm sure not a lot of people, but I'm sure at least someone did. Like, I bet I just taught someone something new. But anyway, we're sending in Carly, which I believe is the Raticate, if my memory serves, which it almost never does, but in this case, it did. Obviously, sending out Golem was a bad idea because it's super effective against Golem is Rock type, and we couldn't keep in Haunter because Haunter is Poison type. and both Rock and Poison are weak to ground. So, therefore, and obviously level 40 we do have Jolteon, but Jolteon is also weak to ground. So, therefore our best bet for fighting this ground type would be our normal type. We don't have a super effective move on it with this Pokemon, but at least it's not super effective on us. So this Bone Club we should be able to take decently well. Even better than I thought, honestly. Because in the past, Cubone has been like a menace to this team, but I guess that's just because most of the time it's hitting us with super effective moves, because so many of our Pokemon on this team are weak to ground. And we had a Pokemon that wasn't weak to ground, I think. Is Poison Grass weak to ground? Was Gloom weak to ground? I don't even know. Because if it was just Grass type, then I'm fairly sure they wouldn't be weak to ground. But Poison Grass, ground is super effective against poison, so I think that it would have been neutral, because it's not perfect on grass, and super effective on poison. Either that, or it's not perfect on grass, and it was just super effective. I don't know. I don't know if Gloom was actually like. I don't know if ground was super effective on Gloom or not. Upon retrospect, gotta learn those like resistances. I know my super effectiveness perfectly fine. I know like what's gonna be super effective on what. I don't know what's resistant to what. That is something that I really need to work on, because resistances I feel like are much harder to learn. Don't fight us, Rockets! That's kind of my job, because the police officers sure ain't doing it. So I guess up to the 11-year-old boy. Woo! You're not getting away with this. Yes, I am. You're running away. What else do you call that? Eh? You came to save me? Yes, Mr. Fiji. Thank you, but I came here of my own free will. I came to calm the soul of Cubone's mother. I think Marowak's spirit has gone to the afterlife. Yeah, that's what the text box said. I must thank you for your kind concern. Follow me to my home. Pokemon house at the foot of this tower. Did you just say Pokemon house? My home, Pokemon house. I called it Pokemon house because it's a house with Pokemon in it. Pokemon house. Very creative, no? Okay, so I'm gonna follow him to his home, or he's just gonna teleport me straight there, because he's got magical powers, apparently. Where is he? Oh, he's up here. Okay. How is this poison? What effect does the poison have on our Pokemon? Not a lot. Good. We should be able to live until we get to the Pokemon Center, because I believe the Pokemon Center is, like, not too far away from this house, because this town is very small, so I can't imagine it would be that many steps. What does this guy have to say? Mr. Fuji had been praying alone for Cubone's mother. Oh, that's so sad. Why won't anyone pray with him? Does no one else believe in ghosts here? I'd imagine that, like, most of the Pokemon world believes in ghosts, because, like, Ghastly's right there, man. It's so warm. Pokemon are so nice to hug. What Pokemon are you hugging? It's a Psyduck. Guapa! I'm sure that's, like, a word. Guapa? Is that ugly in Spanish? Or is it beautiful in Spanish? It's one of the two. Gale! Bruh, it throws me for a loop, because in the Pokemon anime, every Pokemon just says their name. And then all of a sudden in the games, they don't. Alex, your Pokedex quest may fail without love for your Pokemon. I think this may help your quest. You must make room for this. Frick! Stupid bag! Okay. I think in future games, you know, you are able to put stuff in the box. Like, you can store items. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to in this game. In fact, I know you can, actually, now that I think about it, because there's a potion in your PC at the beginning of the game. So surely you can store items in there. Surely it's not like, oh, only the game can put items in your PC. You can't. Like, I'd imagine, because there are multiple different PCs. There's, like, Bill's PC and then your PC. There are different types of PCs. And, like, your PC is for items, while Bill's PC is for Pokemon. What is Professor Oak's PC? I don't even know. Alex's PC. Here we go. Access item storage system. Perfect. And so that we are going to put some items in this item storage system, because, you know, that's how you store items in an item storage system. Makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, so Water Stone. We're putting it in there. I'm not going to toss that, just in case we need it later. We very well might. You never know what you might catch in a randomizer. Did our Max Repel run wear off? Probably. I can imagine it would last that long, but then again, I never saw the message that it ran out. And it may have been like a long time that we were like battling people, but I don't think it was all that many steps up that Pokemon Tower, because I enabled it, like, only at, like, like right near the top. Like, we weren't too far from the top of the building when I enabled it, so I think that we're, like... Oh, I was saving the escape rope for getting out of Pokemon Tower, but I guess he just teleported us out with his mind powers, so no need. We'll just put that in there, because we don't have to go through any caves anytime soon, so there's no point in keeping it right now. Lift key. Certainly we can put this away. Restore via PC. Yes! That's great! Oh my gosh. So wait, can we get rid of other key items? We can't toss it, but can we get rid of it? Oh my gosh. Okay, that makes things so much easier. Yes, emptying out the inventory. Thank God. Helix Fossil. Get rid of that too, for now. We'll bring that out later, because we will need to... No, don't put away the max elixirs. We might need those sometime soon. Bike voucher. I'm not getting a bike. I don't know even why I have this. I just got it even though I knew I wasn't getting a bike. And that's stupid of me because it just takes up inventory space. Leaf Stone. We don't need it at the moment, so we'll put it in there. And we're also not going to need the Self Scope, right? Because we just beat Pokemon Tower. So that's... I think that's the only spot in the game where you need the Self Scope. I'm just going to run into, like, a trainer with a Ghastly, and it's going to be, like, one of those ghosts, and I'm just not going to be able to hit it because I don't have a Self Scope. It's like, you can't see what Pokemon it is. I'm like, I know what Pokemon it is! It's a Ghastly! Okay, so, we are through getting rid of all those items, putting them in the, PC, there. And now we can go down this way, I think, is our next, path. Yes. Okay, so we are going to go down here, and, what does the sign say? Route 12, north to Lavender. Yes, I noticed. That's actually where I came from. But, what's over here? I know that... Absolutely nothing. Fantastic. Like, I know that there's a path towards the next route down here, but what's down here? And it was absolutely nothing. Wonderful. It's like, what is even the point? It's like, oh yeah, nice little port, like, nice little edge that you can fish on. It's like you could fish on literally any edge. It's like, why does that even exist? What's up here? In Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I think there's a person up here that, like, gives you a Pokemon if you have, like, a certain number of Pokedex entries, or, like, a item if you have a certain number of Pokedex entries. It's some aid for Professor Oak or some crap, I don't know. My Pokemon's ashes are stored in Pokemon Tower. Thanks for sharing. You can have this TM. I don't need it anymore. And I can have this TM, because I've now emptied out my inventory a little bit. Keep saying inventory. It's not an inventory. I mean, I guess it kind of is. What's the definition of inventory? I don't know. I just know it from Minecraft. Use. What is this TM? Let's take a look. We might not teach it to anyone, but let's at least see what it is. It is Swift. Okay. Nice. I don't know the power of it. In future games, it's 60. I don't know if it's the same in this. I don't imagine why it wouldn't be. So I feel like that's stronger than Cut, right? But Cut is, like... Cut has a high critical hit ratio, so I don't know if we want to teach it over Cut. We couldn't even teach it over Cut, because we can't get rid of HMs without, like, a move deleter in this game. Which makes sense, because in this game, obviously, if you could get rid of HMs without the move deleter, then that would mean that if you tossed an HM, then congratulations, you're just soft-locked. Which is great that they thought ahead enough, at least to do that. Because if I made a game like this, I probably wouldn't have thought ahead that much, and then hundreds of people probably would have gotten soft locked because they threw away an HM and then deleted an HM move, and it's like, well, what do I do now? And the answer is nothing. You just sit there because you can't get through to the next point of the game. Could we even learn this over Cut? Is there even what Pokemon has Cut? I don't know. I don't know which Pokemon has Cut. Let's see. Kyle, Carly, and Alice are the Pokemon that can learn this move. Kyle is the Golem. Carly is the Eradicate, and Alice is the Haunter. Is that good on anyone? That's good on Carly. Is it? It doesn't miss, and it is also Stab, but at the same time, Bite is also 60 power, I believe, and it flinches. And Cut, I believe Carly has Cut. Carly's the one with Cut, I believe. I'm gonna go very slowly. I'm not gonna delete any move without looking at it very closely first. They do not have Cut. So Bite, I feel like we should have Swift just in case. Like, you never know when something might use some, like, accuracy scum. Like, it might not be... You never know when something's gonna be scummy with accuracy. So, let's learn it over Smog. Because, like, that is coverage, but at the same time, it's really bad coverage. To the point where it's really not needed. Like, yeah, it's nice to have something on this Pokemon that is not just normal type. But at the same time, in this case, I'll take stab over coverage, because that is just such bad coverage. Like, Smog is just such a bad move. It really hasn't put in any work at any point. Especially since now we have poison coverage already in the form of Kyle. Like, we do not need that Smog at all. So let's learn Swift, because now we have two. Their repel finally wore off. I didn't think it wore off. I really did not think it did. But I was starting to believe it did, because I hadn't seen the message yet, and so I thought I just missed it. But yeah, so let's go down this way. We're gonna head down this way, and then we're gonna run into a Snorlax. But that is what is going to happen actually in the next episode. For now, we are just going to end it off here. In the next episode, we're gonna fight this trainer right here, probably, assuming he's a trainer. But for now, thank you all so much for watching Eevee Clan. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Alex S. Beyond. Signing off. I don't know why I did that. That was stupid.